Livestock Artillery. Let's talk about something absurd that you can do with the D&D rules. This requires understanding a bit about the falling rules in D&D 5e, so bear with me for just a second. Falling deals 1d6 damage for every 10 feet that you fall, up to a maximum of 20d6 damage for falling 200 feet. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything introduced rules for what happens if a creature falls onto another creature. When that happens, the creature on the bottom makes a DC 15 dexterity save. If they fail, you split the damage evenly between the two creatures, and any creatures that take damage from this automatically fall prone. So pretty simple, but obviously we can weaponize this by doing this on purpose. So you are going to perform what I call Livestock Artillery. You are a low-level sorcerer. First, you're going to take Find Familiar, and in the 2024 rules, Find Familiar allows you to pick a giant fly as a familiar, which very conveniently is large enough that you can ride them as a mount. This lets you get up into the air without relying on a specific species, so this works for literally any sorcerer. Next, you're going to learn the spell Enlarge Reduce. Enlarge Reduce will let you shrink or grow a creature by one size, and if you upcast the spell, you can target additional creatures. The 2024 version of Twin Spell will allow us to add additional targets by spending a sorcery point. You'll then use this to cast Reduce on a collection of nearby sheep, as many as you can target. Why sheep? Because their stats suck, they're going to fail the save, and then they'll become tiny, and then when you end concentration on Enlarge Reduce, they will again become small. That's very important because the rule for falling onto another creature only does damage if the falling creature is at least small size. They have stats in Storm King's Thunder, so they're absolutely perfect for this combo. So you're going to take your collection of tiny sheep, you're going to put them in a box, a barrel, some other container. They're like this big when they're reduced, so itty bitty sheep. Put them in a box, climb on top of your giant fly, fly above your problem, turn the box over to dump all of the sheep on top of your target, and then end concentration on Enlarge Reduce. This will cause the sheep to return to small size. You then resort to initiative order and resolve the creatures falling one at a time. The first sheep falls, dealing 20d6 damage split between itself and the target. The sheep is then deceased and then becomes an object and is no longer a valid target for having another creature dropped on them. So the next sheep does the same thing. Proceed for as many sheep as you can handle, and you've done effectively 10d6 damage to your target creature per sheep. This works at any level, and the higher level you get, the more sheep you can do at the same time. This is borderline unstoppable, except for that dexterity save. Enjoy. Sheep Artillery.